Hey guys, this is Hunter at Vapor Honing Technologies. Today we are going to discuss optional add-ons that are applicable to our machines. A lot of customers have different needs for these add-ons. They're very niche. Speaking in terms of what your applications are, it's really going to be a case-by-case basis, but we want to kind of explain what each of these is good for and when you would need these add-ons. So the first thing we're going to start with here is the caster kits. So we have two different sets of casters that are available on our machines. The first one is going to be the locking caster kit. This is more of a simple caster kit. This is applicable more to the plastic machines and your 800FL Pro. Super simple to install. They allow the machine to really roll around and have that flexibility if you need to move it, whether you're moving in your shop or cleaning. You can move this machine wherever you need to with the casters. We also have the casters for more of the stainless steel machines. So your 1000s, your 3630s, your 2000s and up. We have the leveling casters. They're more heavy duty than what the locking caster kit are. They have a little bit more support to them. The bracket is welded to the cabinet and then the caster goes in the bracket. So it's a little bit more durable. Now for bigger machines, oftentimes these machines have forklift runners. All of them actually have that except the VH900. So that you can move it around with a forklift. And the reason that is because these machines are heavier, so the casters may not make sense for those machines, but we do offer that add-on. The locking caster kit is $90. The leveling caster kit for the bigger machines are $650. The next one we're going to talk about is the protective blast mat. So this is a 24-inch by 16-inch blasting mat. It's $50. What this does is it just sits on your floor. It's rubberized, so it prevents any kind of scratching on metal pieces. It's also good if you have one of our turntables, which we will get to later, and why those are important to different applications. But it prevents metal on metal contact, any scratching. It's just more of a preventative feature or a preventative add-on that we offer. The next one we're going to speak to is the blasting gun mount. I really like this feature, especially if I have smaller parts. It sits actually right here in between the gloves on any of our cabinets. But what that does is it's actually going to hold your blast gun in that position so that you can actually hold on to the parts with both hands and blast. It's super convenient if you have smaller parts. The last thing you want to do is be blasting a part you're trying to hold with one hand, let it go and it flies into the hopper. That's why this feature or add-on is super important to people with smaller pieces, that need to really hold on to those pieces with both hands. The next one we're going to talk about is the floor supports. Now these are more applicable to our plastic cabinets only. These act as more of a brace that go across your floor that adds some more support. The capacity of those plastic cabinets is 150 pounds. So if you want to add a little bit more support under that floor because you have a heavier piece, the floor supports are $200. It's just two bars that sit across the bottom of the cabinet underneath the floor. There's lips on each side so they have something to sit on. Your stainless cabinets, as we can see inside here, you can kind of see through the floor. The floor supports are here. So the stainless cabinets are going to hold a little bit more weight. That's why it's not quite applicable to the stainless cabinets that we carry. But it's a great add-on to have for plastic cabinets if your pieces are heavier. The next one we're going to speak about is rubber lime walls. This add-on is going to be $600. These are great for stainless cabinets. You can see this is powder coated inside and out. To protect that powder coat, if let's say you're using a heavier abrasive, maybe like a 70 aluminum oxide or silicon carbide, something that has a jagged edge that's going to continuously eat away at that powder coat. The rubber lime walls are great for protecting the walls inside of your machine and protecting and preserving the powder coat. They offer a little bit of noise suppression, so if you're wondering if they'd be applicable to plastic cabinets, they do offer a little bit of noise suppression for you. It does get a little bit quieter than just the abrasive and slurry hitting the edge of the cabinet. The next one we have is a two-stage filtration basin. This is our upgraded closed loop, if you will. So this is going to offer you more of a natural filter style closed loop rather than a sedimentation style closed loop. So if you step around the back here, This is more of our sedimentation style closed loop. You can see it doesn't really have a natural filter on it to where it's gonna protect any contaminants from getting back into the cabinet. They're just gonna settle to the bottom of the first basin, the water will drop through the bottom and then recirculate. On the two-stage filtration, it's gonna be a longer basin. There's gonna be a filter roll that's bracketed that pulls across the basin. So that's gonna give you a natural filter that's gonna protect from any of these contaminants coming through the closed loop system and back into your vapor honing cabinet. The add-on for this is $1,000. If you get a VH1000 HD, it is standard with that cabinet. So to add that closed loop, it's only $650, but any other cabinet out there is gonna be a $1,000 add-on. The next one we're gonna talk about is actually right over here. It is the abrasive density meter. So this is more of an add-on for production-oriented environments. So it's gonna be super convenient because with your machine, when you order one, when you get it, receive it, you'll see a beaker inside of that machine that is actually meant for measuring your water to abrasive ratio. This does it in a quicker fashion. Now this is $1,000 to add on, but all you do when you are stepping on the foot pedal is pull this down. It will fill this tube, and once that tube is filled, the abrasive will quickly settle so that you can see a quick reference of where your abrasive to water ratio is at. Again, that add-on is $1,000. It's super quick for production-oriented environments if you don't really have time or downtime to stop for 5-10 minutes and measure that abrasive to water ratio. Super convenient for that. So the next one is actually over here. This is going to be your heater. Now with the heater, what it's gonna do is it's gonna heat your water. Now ours come factory set to about 115, 117 degrees. It's gonna heat your water to cut greases and oils a little bit easier than what just room temperature water will. It is important to note that this will make your machine a 220 machine. It will no longer stay 110, it will be 220. It does take a little bit to heat your water up with this heater. Of course, you have anywhere from 18 to 25 gallons of water in your hopper, so it's gonna take an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours to heat up. First thing I would do when I get to the shop is turn the machine on. You actually want to turn this dial right here so that it keeps your heater on and heats up. I would turn it to probably the 4 to 6 hour mark, because if you're using the machine, you don't want it to turn off in the middle of that and your water to cool back down. But our heater is $800. Again, does make your machine a 220. So just be aware of that. The next ones we're gonna talk about are our turntables. Now we have anywhere from a 20 to a 40-inch turntable, so it's kind of applicable per machine. They range anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000. These are super important if you have heavier parts. The heavier parts are going to go right on the turntable. You can actually turn it like a Lazy Susan and blast. Now in the plastic cabinets, if you do get a turntable, I would also recommend getting that blasting mat and the floor supports that we talked about earlier in the video, because that's gonna take up some holding capacity in those cabinets. You are also going to want to keep metal on metal contact from happening, so that's why I would recommend a blast mat with it. But again, anywhere from 20 to 40-inch turntable we have. If you have a block or something that's a lot heavier, this is gonna make it more convenient to blast that, because it works like a Lazy Susan. You just sit the part on there, turn the turntable and blast, instead of having to maneuver that piece around with your hands. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to give us a call. We're happy to explain these add-on features. If you need help with anything else as well, we're always here for you. Give us a call, 828-202-5563.